If you're tired of hearing the right is crazy when it's the left gunning people down. If you've grown weary of hearing white folks are bad and they're abusing the blacks and browns. If you're tired of listening to the media lies, it's time to wake up, patriot, and open others' eyes. Wake up, patriots, and grab your gun. Let's stand our ground, let's have some fun. It's time to remove the crazies, hop the phone crack. It's time to all stand up and take our nation back. If it makes you mad, they block to stop the steal, where Republicans are the majority, but still they fail. Then might I suggest you get off your duff and put an end to this leftist stuff. Cause they're only winning when we have no voice. It's time to rise up and make some noise. We need an FBI that can be trusted. It's time the whole Obama crowd all gets busted. Wake up, patriots, and grab your gun. Let's stand our ground, let's have some fun. It's time to remove the crazies, hop the phone crack. It's time to all stand up and take our nation back. Yeah, with George and Trixie, Sean and Mark on Wake Up Patriots, or Patriots After Dark. While you're listening there, you will have some fun, but you'll also learn how to get it done. Just read the comments, meet some friends, cause we've got a battle going on. Wake up, patriots, and grab your gun. Let's stand our ground, let's have some fun. It's time to remove the crazies, hop the phone crack. It's time to all stand up and take our nation back. Don't just stand there and watch the nation tumble. Go to Wake Up Patriots, it's there on Rumble, and maybe toss some change in the cup. And don't forget to give a big thumbs
Thumbs up for Wake Up Patriots.
So
Yeah,
wake up,
thumbs
patriots, and get her done. Do it for your daughter, do it for your son. It's for our kids, we must turn things back. It's time for action and not just smack. Oh! It's time for action and not.
Woo! It's Wednesday, and here's our crusader.
Hey, how are you? Listen. I think I lost weight after chasing that kid. You've been showing it so many times. How long you been showing it? So I lost 35 pounds already. So I think it's because
Should I try AI and go see if I can make you like a stick man? I don't know. I like that video.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody going? I'm alive from Dearbornistan. Dearbornistan, whatever. Let me tell you something. After a while, after we do the prayer and the pledge, I'm going to read something that's very important. So I was very proud yesterday to be there to see thousands of patriots. So I have to say, read what I wrote on Facebook. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got lots to cover on that, and then we got Wormhole and some other stuff too. So it'll be a good hour and a half today.
You can make Dearbornistan a Wormhole. That's all Wormhole.
I know Dearborn used to be really pretty. I'm telling you, it used to be a really nice place to be, but not no more.
That was thanks to Obama. He dropped some shit in there too.
Yeah. Okay, well let's start out with the prayer and the pledge, and then we can get rock and roll because everybody's questioning in the chat what went on, and so we got a lot of stuff.
Oh, I got a lot to say.
Yeah, I know you got lots to say. I think you were so hyped up afterwards. It was crazy. It was nice though.
I got
You
home,
want to see male testosterone? You should have seen George after.
yeah, 12, yeah, I got home 12:30.
Oh shit! I'm
Oh,
telling
shit.
you that I'm losing my earbuds. They're just jumping right out of my ears.
I,
All right. Hey, you ready? I'm having technical issues. My ears aren't big enough. All right. A new command I give you.
Your head's not big enough. That's fall off your head. Your ears are not big enough. They don't.
I know. It's hard being a midget.
Yeah.
So, a new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another.
Amen.
And that's John 13:34.
Oh,
Amen.
did I love people yesterday?
Oh, you just loved them so much.
Yeah.
Let's
No,
do the pledge.
You know what? Tomorrow, could you do me a favor? Read tomorrow. Read the phrase
Ephesians?
of Ephesians 6.
That's what I was gonna. That's what I just said. I said Ephesians.
Yeah.
I don't know what I said.
I'm
It was
really proud,
close.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. All right, let's do the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
All right, the platform is yours. You,
Yes. Well,
Monsieur, go ahead.
I
Entertain us.
want to wait for more people to come out, but let me tell you, it was an experience to watch and to ride. We do have a beautiful country, I have to say. I mean, to ride the bike and stuff like that. It took me like almost 5 hours, 5.5 hours to get there. My ass is sore. I have to say that one. But it was 5.5 hours going, 5.5 coming back. So anyway, but well, I want to read something first that I wrote on Facebook. If people don't mind, I think it's like, oop. Now, let me take this off. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna read what happened yesterday. So yesterday I went to Dearborn and wore my Born Ride for 45 vest, which I do. So, this is what I saw. It was another setup, and I'll get into it later about it. Right? I was so proud to see thousands of patriots. I'm talking about not thousands, but thousands. Everyone had an American flag, Trump flag, don't tread on me, signs supporting ICE, supporting America first. The airborne mayor and Alibaba, wouldn't say, I couldn't put the word in there, the Muslim that he was, because Facebook was open. So I put Alibaba in there. Didn't think we got the word of the location being changed, but we did, and everybody showed up. Now here's the setup. First, they had the cops starting to block roads, surrounding the group. They were in the middle of the group and congregating in front of the Ford Library. Originally, it was supposed to be at the other hall of Dearborn stand there, of their committee hall. But what they did is they moved it to the Henry Ford Library, which is a bigger venue. But the whole thing is, they only allowed so many people in. So anyway. Now here's the first setup. The cops started blocking the roads. Then as we were all congregated in front of the Ford Library, and the crowds got larger. I had tears in my eyes to see all these young patriots. Hold on. They were screaming USA, USA, USA. So now the cops show up in riot gear. So this is how I knew the setup was happening. And then the horses showed up. And after the horses showed up, they came in, and these bunch of majority young Alibabas showed up. You should know what Alibaba means by now. It was amazing that cops showed up in riot gear plus the horses. And then all of a sudden, a young and couple of middle age, I saw it coming for the setup. So now when all the cops came out and the horses came out, all of a sudden this group comes in. I downloaded the video from Channel 2, and we'll put that up. Um, and they were screaming. The young Alibabas were screaming that this is our country, and all we said back to them is, we are all part of the 50 states. So as I was getting exciting when I so that was that story. So as I was exiting at an exit, I pulled over and I had my armor hat of God hat on, and I went to pull over to put my what do you call it, my helmet on, and the people thought I was stuck. So a truck with the PLO flag and a car, a white car, pulled over, and they started harassing me. When I pulled out my old Henry, which you know what that means, my selection of weapon, the cars pulled out quickly and started looking. At my age, I ain't taking any shit, but I wanted to thank the bikers that showed up, the Patriot supporters and the big Trump supporters who were. Oh, there was a big Trump supporter there. He was driving the truck in the parking lot. He was a cop, and he showed his badge, and he was watching all the motorcycles in the uh, in the parking lot. So it was. So I said, especially what's going to happen on my page. Usually, the leftists come in and say some shit. But there was a truck going around. You know the display trucks coming around, and it had the picture of Jake Lang as a clown, blah blah blah, all that stuff. And there were Muslims that were driving. Hey, they said, "Hey, brother, how you doing?" Uh, and they were like shocked what I said, but they were driving that shit around. So I mean, and then like I know it was a setup. As soon as I mean, when you see the video, well, here, let me show these. You put these photos up. We'll put them up, and I'll explain each photo. So
Okay, let's start out this. I'm gonna go in order that you got them on the bottom then.
so this was I took it from the street because I was blocked. I was going around and around with the flags on. And this is the crowd started a group because there were more people in the parking lot. Do the next one. This is now. There was a spy across the street. Look at the next photo. Post the next photo. This was in front of the entrance of the hall we had to enter to. There's the towel wrapper there with a head thing, and she was taking photos of everybody that was there, and I was taking a photo of her. Then she'll put the next picture up. They had the ambulance there. They had a lot of cops, and that's the gathering of everybody in front of the hall. You know, people were speaking and stuff and screaming. Do the next one, please. There's the flags again and holding up. There were a lot of patriots. It was unbelievable. I was excited to see that. Do the next one. Here's the horses. You see they're coming in. Now, when the horses come in, see there's the one of the cops with the riot gear, and when the horses come in, it's which I dealt with a lot of this stuff. They're ready for something to happen. There was no reason to put out the riot gear, police, and everything else, but all of a sudden they had a fence up and stuff, which you'll see on the video I'll put up. And they came out full force. They were all inside the library, and all of a sudden, when they came out, we weren't agitated. We were very peaceful. No, we kept saying USA, USA, all that stuff, and everything else. But we were very peaceful. And then you saw the aggravators come in, which were the Muslim kids and some. It was mostly the young kids are radical. Let me tell you, because I dealt with them a couple of times already in Florida and everything else when they show up against the Jews and everything else. So, but we sometimes help out with the Jewish people and have their rallies and stuff. So go ahead, Nick. Next, I think the next is and there's the guy brought a roasted pig. I left my nuts on that one. I couldn't. Let me tell you something. Talk about we do have a sense of humor. We really do. No. There were the cops. A lot of them were Muslims. There were some regular guys because when I made the turn and everything else, I made believe when I took those pictures from the road, I made believe that my bike stalled. And the cop laughed because he saw, he knew what I was doing. He says, "Are you okay there, sir?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." Yeah. So, yeah, the white shirt was cool, but everybody made statements. I mean, the signs. I was so. Hey, Mark, I sorry. Should have waited.
Mark.
I'm sorry, Sean. I'm sorry. I'm tired. Anyway, I should have waited for you to come on. I'm sorry.
Good morning.
Good
morning, everybody.
Yeah.
So
there's
George,
a guy,
did you have? Was that lunch yesterday?
yeah. The guy was good, man. He took it right out of his trunk. He's carrying this thing. The thing had to be 50 pounds. The pig.
Oh wow.
It was big.
Man.
He
They usually are big.
What?
They usually are big. These pig roasts.
Yeah. So it was cool. But like I said, the setup was there. It was like,
Whoops.
whoop, there you go.
Wrong.
It was like January 6th all over again. I mean, the way the crowd showed up, Patriot with the flags and everything else.
Did you get some video?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Well, I took a CBS video.
Well, I got a compilation of stuff too.
Yeah. Well, but I gotta do the video I put up first so they can see how the riot kit came out.
That's what I got. I don't know which one it is. There's a whole book.
No, well, it's the one with it's the one with CBS. Let me take these other things out of here.
Here, I think it's this one.
Yeah, that's it. Look how they came out. And now they're pushing them. They didn't. This is from a helicopter. That typical move, they don't show the whole crowd.
Can't hear you. Can't hear. Now you're going to see, you see the guy, there's a guy in that white robe there. Now they stop coming in. And this is where the harassment started. And this is what I was talking about. The mayor of Dearborn is a Muslim. So he didn't give a shit, he wanted to stop everything, Is that, and this is how they are. There's no respect. Yeah. And they said we were the agitators. They were the agitators. We were fine there. We didn't do anything. But they, like I said, the right year they came out, they knew this was all planned and everything else, what they were going to do. This guy, in fact, he's an imam. So just to let you know.
He's a what?
Imam. He's
a
Alibaba imam. When I wrote my thing on Facebook, I put Alibaba, so I hope people understood what the Alibaba meant. So, but it was I was getting emotional because the young guys that showed up was unbelievable. It was just amazing how everybody showed up with the signs, and everybody was peaceful. And then you see, how the cop, that was, because I was at a few of these things. I watched the cops, how they move. And then I watched the cops, how they react. And then like I said, there was a cop in the parking lot in his own truck. He came from out of state. He showed me the shield. He says, "I'm here watching all the bikes." I said, "That's cool. Appreciate that." And there were bikes spread all over the place. I mean, it was like people came in, nobody knew where they were going. But then we found out they made us park in the back of the building. And then there's an entrance in the back of the building. They didn't make us go that way. They wanted us to go in the front to go in.
So was this inside a building, some of it, or outside?
No, this is all outside, but the meeting was inside. It was the Ford Library. They moved it from usually where they had their committee meetings, with the mayor and everybody. But they moved it there because they figured There was a guy called the White Rabbit. Man, he told them off. I saw it this morning. He was good, saying what he said. He made a speech in front of the council there with the mayor, and you see the attitude that they have. The Muslim people, like, hey, F you, we own this. We own it. And we turned around and told them, he said, we got the right to be here. We have the right to be in any state we want. You ain't got to tell us we can't be here. We own it.
So they were pushing kind of back on you.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it was all planned, all set up because they changed the venue and everything else. They did everything they could to agitate us, and we were back and held peaceful and everything else. And then a guy screams out, Jake Lang should be kirked. And the Muslims are screaming like crazy. So when I was telling people, when I got off the exit, I have my armor guard hat on, so I'm going to put my helmet on it before I get on the highway. 2 people pulled up. One guy had a truck with the PLO flag, and another car with a white car. And they come to you. See, you broke down. You shouldn't have been effing. You should have been just like that. Like they could. You should have been fucking here. See, your fault. And they started harassing me. So I pulled out my my thing, and then they spun off.
You're not talking about your thing.
Yeah, not that thing.
It's not Friday.
My 9mm that says hello.
It says Pig Destroyer.
Yeah. Well, I put on Facebook. I put Old Henry, so everybody know what. Everybody would understand what that was. But I was very proud, emotional to see the amount of young people that were there, and Maggie's still alive. That's all I can tell you, because they were screaming, USA, USA, USA. It was something else. I had to go there. I didn't. I had to go.
So what time did you get home?
12:30. And the fuck effing roads. Let me tell you, what a shitty way to get there. 24, you get to take 24, and then it breaks up again, and take 24 again. They get take 465, get back to 24. You go through back roads. You have to go to get to where you got to go. It's like all dark. You got deer running across the roads and all that shit and everything else. So
yeah, 24s. It's kind of dark too. Do you mind if I show that combo that it has a little bit of the ABC stuff, but
more the better.
Yeah, it'll show where everybody kind of. I got the horses coming in and everything.
Yes. He's a Kirk. He's a Kirk. I know him. He's a Kirk. He's a Kirk. Right here. He's a Kirk. Take this motherfucker right here. You right there. You right there. You right there. Hey, you guys weren't doing it to get the people that have to do it. Was you? You guys just oh shit! It was I get that. Yo, where is your horse? Yes.
And this is a little bit of Jake Lang.
I need to take suck a dick, bitch! Mic check. Look, we got some fucking communists. Jesus is King of America. Jesus is King of Dearborn, Michigan. This young lady bitch, boy. Go back to your homeland, coward! No one wants you! Yeah, you fucking terrorist. No one wants you, you fucking
Do you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? Do you accept that the blood of Jesus washes you clean of your sins? By the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, you are born again.
It was a Christian demonstration, obviously, because he baptized that woman right there in the back of the truck.
It's a crusade. It was a crusade operation. I mean, we battled them once before. Even America did it in the various straits. That's when the Marines were done. So, and it's just you know, so trust me, a lot of people were holding back.
Yeah, well, like you said, you knew going in, not as saying it was a definite setup. Well, yeah, everybody knew it was a setup going in because it's the same thing as what January 6th was when the Muslims came out on the other side and you had the mayor of Dearborn and the police chief and everything sticking up for the Muslims and then intentionally agitating everybody in the city beforehand. You knew it was going to be a setup. And like you said, with the horses coming in, and Antifa came in right at, like what you said, was right at the same time Antifa showed up. And I think if I remember correctly from what I saw last night, I was going through like as much as I could on social media during the time this was going on to pull different clips and stuff. And I just totally lost my train of thought. Oh my
God. Antifa came in, set up.
Yeah, that it was.
You're ready to yell Allah Akbar.
Yeah, there was Allah Akbar, and then if I remember correctly, they said there was a Antifa that was arrested last night after pulling a gun on somebody too. But like George said, as soon as it started getting dark, that's when the shit started happening and everything. But like he said, the horses came, and then immediately it was Antifa, and then the younger Muslims that were agitating everything up. So yeah, it was a setup, and I think we talked about it before we went that it's a trap for hate crime because that's what they're going to do. And the Muslim police were always on the side of the Muslims over there. And if you could see from that, they weren't protecting, like George said, they weren't protecting the Christians there. They were there to protect the Muslims. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, I got it. I want you to play this video, which I think is very important. And watch the mayor's expression on his face during this guy speaking. This guy is known as the White Rabbit.
Who?
The White Rabbit.
No, whose expression?
No, the mayor of Dearborn. The motherfucker Alibaba cocksucker that he is. That's
George.
What's the mayor's name? Do we know?
Abdul Muhammad Hussein
Mayor
Alibaba.
It's got to be Muhammad.
Abdul Hussein Alibaba. I don't know how I'll play it.
I just want to talk about how you're being honest and you're speaking from the heart. Not one of you people that come here and speak without a freaking script in your hands, word for word reading it. You got a mayor that tells an American citizen that he cannot be welcome in Dearborn, Michigan if he doesn't want a damn terrorist on the name of a street. You got members on the board over there laughing at American citizens when they're concerned about Sharia law and the Muslims that are telling us we're going to take over your city. We have Hassan Piker saying we're going to do things to your women. And we're saying, oh, this is peaceful? That you people came here to give us peace? You guys came here to conquer us. This is the Crusades all over again. You're going to think you're going to take this country without firing a shot? How about this? How about the American citizens say, no, you're not going to do this. That's right. We're going to stand up. We're going to tell you, everybody here, from felons to normal people, Bible thumpers, little grannies everywhere, tell this Muslim invasion, you're not going to happen in the United States of America, not while Christian crusaders are standing here blocking you.
He's got a big following too.
So wait, so that was last night too?
Yes, last night. Yep.
I got Jake Lang talking last night too in the council meeting.
All right, so because I asked you, was this stuff inside or outside? That's why I was confused. So
Hold it. The crowd was outside. They only let so many people
Yeah.
inside.
Okay. Gotcha.
They
now.
let Jake Lane, this guy, and a bunch of other people.
Okay.
And
now I caught up.
Right.
Now I caught up.
That's because if
good
you come here on time, it'd be fine.
That's what it is. I was a little late. I know. I was a little late.
Anyway, go ahead.
Sorry about that. That was just fitting to put it in right there.
Let me tell you,
Yeah,
trust me, controlling was very. Everybody was excellent. Nobody. I mean, they said things when they were told to say, especially when they came in. There were a bunch of young Muslim kids there that were really aggravating. They were the agitators. And then the imam showed up in a fucking white curtain there with the white sheet that looks like a KKK guy. And then he started talking. He started being nasty, and he put the PLO thing there. And then they started screaming, you know, from the river to the sea, whatever. They started screaming and all that shit and everything. So then what happened is they were allowed to speak in front of the council. They moved it to the Henry Ford Library because it's a little bit bigger. Not that fucking big, but they moved it to there. It was what they did. What they did is they were trying to disrupt our plan because we were supposed to be at this other place. But we were all notified that they changed the place because they figured, oh, they're going to screw us up. So everybody said that. And I went through the parking lot too. Do you know where we're going? Does anybody, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, bikers showed up and cars were there. The lots were full. There were 8 lots there that were packed. And it was great to see that. And then, like I said, the tears brought to my eyes when I saw these young guys, a lot of young guys. So, and
I heard the biggest complaint was when you were telling people where to go. Everybody kept on looking for where's Dare.
Yeah,
Dare?
I like that. That's what he
over there.
Well,
over there.
I got Jake Lang if you want to hear a little bit what he said to the city council because he burned their ass.
I'm militia from A2. What?
I need to take suck a dick, bitch. I need to take suck a dick, bitch.
Mic check.
Look, we got some fucking communists coming.
I'm sorry, I grabbed the wrong one.
Yeah, it's the same clip.
Here it is. I know. I'm sorry.
Honor, you'll be removed. You got 1 second, and you'll be removed. What do you want to do? Put them down, or you're going to be. There's no books, no paraphernalia. That's the council rules. Hey, let's go.
For 3 years straight, the #1 name in the country of England for newborn babies is Muhammad.
Yeah.
Tell me that white Christians are not being invaded. How can you lie to our faces with your taqiyya? This is an invasion on all fronts. Our people are being pushed out of the workplace. We're being pushed out of city councils. That smug face of the taqiyya Muslims needs to be wiped off these people's faces. These people are looking to destroy us. These people are looking to outbreed us. The Muslims have not come here to assimilate. They have come here to steal the wealth of this land, to rape our women. What about the 250,000 women in England that were raped by Pakistani Muslims, and they got little slaps on the wrist from the woke Democratic regime? The Muslims are being used by the Democrats to instill socialism in America. We know it. Look at all of your top Muslim leaders. They all pander to homosexuality, the trans agenda, and to socialism. You're fake Muslims. You're just using the Democrats, these woke liberal idiots, the women in New York, to gain power. And once the Muslims have power in this country, then they will start throwing the homosexuals off the roofs, just like they do in Palestine. You guys all cry about Palestine. Try being a white Christian man preaching the word of God in Palestine. Guess what might happen to you? The same thing that happened to me here in Dearborn, Michigan. You will be stoned for saying the name of Jesus Christ in Palestine, in Afghanistan, in Yemen, in Iraq. Jesus Christ is outlawed in those countries, and we will stand. The crusade has begun. Your time in this country is running short. The time of stealing from the Detroit black Christian Americans is over. It's over. Muslims go home before we send you home. We have cruise ships, we have planes, we have trains, and we're going to pack them out with all of the Arabs. You have to go home. We don't want you here. Our founding fathers gave this country to their posterity. White Christians, and they brought along with them their black friends, and now we're here to reclaim America for the blacks and the white people.
You have 30
and the Spanish.
seconds remaining.
We will not allow these third world mongrels to run roughshod over us without a fight. The body of Christ is one. If you are in Christ, you are my brother. If you stand against Islam, you are my brother. If you are willing to stand up and take this country back, you are my brother. Join the Crusades and extricate this filth from our country. We will have our way. Come blood or sweat, we will have our way.
Your time
this
has
is your
expired.
Christian land. Christ is king.
Thank you.
Christ is king. Christ is...
And they removed him.
I thought what he said, you know, you might not agree with Jake Lang and you might not agree with some of the stuff that he does, but he came with a mission and he came with a statement, and I agree with what he said.
There's a lot of people don't like it. Yeah, let me just explain. Somebody had to do something, okay? And nobody's willing. Everybody's telling me, you know, and like I go to these meetings. Oh, George, don't you see what's going on with the Muslims and flood? Yeah, I see what's going on. And then they said, what are we going to do about it? And I tell them, what am I going to do? What are you going to do about it? Somebody's got to take the lead.
But see, so what he had some good points without a doubt. But some of the things where he says like go back, how are you going to throw people out of the country? That
Very easy. If you don't, they can do it. If they follow the Constitution, if they follow the Sharia law, it's against your citizenship right to stay in this country. It's the law. A lot of people know. And the other thing we have to worry about is England. He made a great statement that a lot of people don't understand. They're taking over England. Do you know what England has? Nuclear weapons. If they take over that country, we're in deep shit. And that's why the Englands are starting to fight back.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, Pakistan has nuclear weapons too. So
no, I'm just saying I'm talking about fuck Pakistan. They got it because India's got it. They got their own problems between each other, so I don't give a shit about them. I'm talking about England, which is part of NATO and a whole bunch of shit and everything else. And they're going to take over. If they take over England, they got the power to press that button. They are a terrorist organization. They are part of CARE. They accommodate CARE. Obama had CARE, the Muslim Brotherhood, in the fucking White House. And we knew this. You're going to ex-General Flynn. He trained on. You had, what's her name? What the hell was her name? Oh, shit. She was an Iranian, and she was pissed off the way the father was treated because, and she became all out Valerie Jarrett. Valerie Jarrett was a Muslim woman. Right. She was born in Iran, and the father lost everything. And what happened? Bingo. She became the worst nightmare for America. She brought the Muslim Brotherhood in. She brought CARE up to par and everything else, had them organized, you know, Council of Islam American Relationship. That's what it's called, CARE. And it's a big association. It was proven. And it's proven as a terrorist organization. But we have to do something about it. And you have an attorney general. If you follow the Sharia law, you don't account. When these people come into this country, remember that black bishop that came out, that black guy, the preacher, and turn around, you have to pledge your allegiance to this country. That's what it's all about.
A lot of them aren't. A lot of them. I'm not saying that they're not going to follow Sharia law. What I'm saying is a lot of them aren't coming right out and saying it's Sharia law. What they're doing is they're going into areas, they're loading up in the areas, then they're getting their representatives elected,
Right.
and they're taking over government like in Dearborn, Michigan, right? You have I don't know how many council members or
they got a couple of them. Man.
I don't know if there's any Christian council members or anything, but they go and they take over. They get an area just like in England. They take over. I get that, but they're not coming in saying Sharia law is the law of the land. Sharia law. They're actually kind of distancing themselves from that in a way, and that could be part of their jihad, right? Because they kind of lie about it.
They're following
Takia.
put that thing about the Muslim about they follow the Quran. I put all the listing exactly at what they do, and that's their they obey by the gay people. They don't like gay people. They learn how to fly in the Muslim countries.
Well, they think they can fly. Yeah,
they bury them up to their neck. They cut their heads off when they're buried in the ground. They destroy women. They rape women. If a woman, they could get a woman in the street.
There is no women's rights in
no. But I'm saying they can get a woman in the street and rape the shit out of them.
Yep.
Well, it's getting so bad in Michigan. This is a political ad, and it's bad.
Welcome to the new Michigan. We think you're going to love all the new changes.
Sharia law.
You bet we're Sharia compliant, just like our new leadership wanted. It's Sharia done the American way. And hey, you were talking about getting new summer outfits anyway.
Sharia law, those forces are alive and well today.
And the best part, we know you'll comply because you've already done it before. Thanks, Michigan.
So yeah, ha 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 ha. That's supposed to be funny, right? It's not funny at all. This is a political ad, and it's showing what really happened in Michigan and what's happening. That the end result is you lose the West. And although we might be joking about it, I find it quite sad because you know why? Just a few decades ago, 9/11 happened. And I'm not trying to be sentimental, but I need everyone to think about where we were and where we are. So 9/11 happened, and now we've reached a point. I remember when you couldn't even joke about these type of things, but now we've reached a point where this can be a comedy because comedy is a reflection of reality. And reality is like a reflection of art, which is a reflection of reality itself. So if art and comedy has reached a point to where this could be relatable, that means we've completely lost the plot. This would have never been relatable in old America. You can't tell me that replacement might not be true. And you can't tell me that there isn't something truly sinister going on. The fact that this content is now relatable. It wouldn't have been deemed relatable if it wasn't true. We better fix this country before it gets to the point where you cannot.
Where you cannot walk down the street. I edited the last piece off, but he's right. You know who that is? That's Dom Lucra talking.
Oh, Dom. Yes.
I gotta get him on the show. I got his number.
Yeah,
that was him talking behind that.
You were close to getting that to happen, and it kind of then you started riding. You started riding motorcycles all over the place and hanging out with people. And going to Mar-a-Lago, and then you kind of like let that.
Well, you sound like other people.
But the whole point of the thing is that it's happening insidiously right underneath our noses, and people are so complacent. You better start paying attention. People have got to pay attention.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying for like that they're not going to do Sharia law or they're not for Sharia law. I'm just saying they're not openly doing that now because that's part of their jihad. I would say where they come in. That's like the guy said in the video. They're using the gays. They're using the Democrats. They're using because they could openly lie to advance their jihad. Right. That's part of their religious teachings. But Mark put an interesting thing in the chat just now. He put in the chat about, and I don't know what this is. I guess he says Afghanistan just passed a law legalizing marriage to 9-year-old little girls. Crazy. That's crazy. If that's true, that's crazy.
I don't know why they need a law for it because Sharia law allows it. And if I had a clip too a couple of weeks ago. I didn't play it, but they asked a guy about about doing with 9-year-olds and everything, and they said as long as even before menstruation. And the guy said it didn't matter whether they menstruated or not. If they were 9 years old, that it was perfectly fine. And that just blew my mind.
All right, so I just put in Grok. Did Afghanistan pass a law legalizing marriage to 9-year-old girls? It says no. Afghanistan did not just pass a law that explicitly sets the marriage age at 9 or directly legalizes marriage to a 9-year-old girls in those exact terms. However, in May 2026, Taliban decree effectively enables and formalizes child marriage with no minimum age, tying it to puberty can begin as early as 8 to 9 years old. So it's more of a, I guess it's more of a Taliban thing than an Afghanistan thing. So
look, I'm blaming everybody. All thing is that all these mosques were built and nobody said a fucking thing. We got politicians, they're all in there, all talking everything else. There was a law that they weren't supposed to have any Muslims in the Senate or Congress or anything else. Tlaib is still in there. They stole fucking millions off us, and they ain't doing shit. Well, now the AG was approved, and supposedly he's coming down on everything. So that's the big. What's the biggest? Yeah, I know it's tuned. Yeah, let me tell you something. I'm debating to go there. What's his name? I'm gonna hook up with what's his name? Scott Presler. I'm gonna go there and just stay in front of his house and terrorize him.
Whose house? Thune?
George, watch what you're saying.
I'm just. The problem
When
is
you
he's
say
got to
terrorize, you mean you're going to protest, George?
Protest, yes. I'm going
Yes,
to
you're
get
gonna
on his case and follow him all around.
You use your constitutional right to voice your opinion on what you feel.
The problem is look at
context.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, yeah, but just I get out of control. I apologize.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so we're just keeping you back on the rails, Tracy and I.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like to tie people on the rails. I like to tie him on the rails.
I know this can get very heated for some people because everybody has a different opinion on it, but I would hope that everybody in the chat and everybody that watches and everything at least has the general understanding that if you don't fight this now, we're not going to have a fight later. So
everybody remember Red Dawn? Let's get back to Red Dawn.
Well, Red Dawn 1 or Red Dawn 2, George? There was 2 Red Dawns.
Yep, they won.
The first one was a better one.
Yep. They always should leave it alone. But the whole thing is, all these things that are in the movies happen. The virus, all the stuff and everything else. It's just amazing. And we knew this was going to happen. And the ones that did the worst thing was the Democratic Party. Biden opened up that border. A lot of them came in here. Look what's happening in Spain. Italy got smart. Baloney closed the whole border. They're supposed to all work together. When you make an agreement with the European Union, it's all supposed to work together. The European Union was a plot by the, the NGO, the national organization of them, the group, the world order. That's what the thing was. You have all the rich people up here and all the poor people down there, and they wanted to control. And that's what Trump is doing. And people keep on doing the same shit. Oh, what's Trump doing? Are you behind the closed doors? Do you know what's going on? Do you understand what's happening? No, people don't. People just look what because of the news, and everybody gets, even some MAGA people getting TDS systems on their heads because they got nothing else to do but complain. Instead of complain, do something. Do something. Go protest in front of the mosque.
George, look at what Chris Eppolito just put in the chat and read that.
Where's Chris? I had a long conversation with Soldier towards women's female. Yep, that's right. 100% right. He's 100% right. 100% right.
Yep.
And then what you have is these asshole kids that are on these ships videotaping the morale of and this is the propaganda that they use and they put it on, and then they listen to Alex Jones, and Alex Jones, the guy's anti-American. I don't give a shit what anybody says. You can listen to all you want. The only thing he spits out of his mouth is negativity. Not one positive.
You gotta wonder who's paying him, right?
Oh yeah, they are.
The guy went bankrupt, lost everything.
Yeah.
There's some crazy claims about, was it Sandy Hook? I guess it was, and you gotta wonder, like,
No, he was big pro-Trump. He was before.
Yep. I mean, any of these conservative people that are influencers or whatnot, social media, the other side would do anything to get them back. I mean, look at Tucker Carlson. Where did he? Where's he aligned now? Right. So,
yeah, Alex Jones talking out of the car. Let me see what he says.
All right.
What's that?
Well, I hate to be a party pooper, but we kind of got to move on a little bit. It's 20 after 9 already. I'm going to do the wormhole. So, anyways, the wormhole today is where have all the doctors gone? And I'm going to play this and you'll see there's been a lot of stuff going on, more so than just like pharmaceutical takeover.
After the
40%
wormhole,
of doctors are considering.
Oh, sorry. After the what?
After wormhole, I just got exclusive video of Byron Donalds when he got home last night, how he celebrated.
Okay.
I think George will be interested to see it.
Practice. I was one of them and actually left the overlords of the medical industrial complex. Here's why. Hi, Dr. Brian here, retired physician and founder of Health Without Risk. I came across a thread on X this week that should be interesting for anyone whose doctor just up and quit. It captures why the medical system is collapsing from the inside out. Here is the post verbatim from creator Chris Betcher. Quote, a friend told me recently that his wife, who's an MD at a major local hospital, is seriously considering leaving medicine. Not because she stopped caring about patients or long hours, but because of the pressure from above. In her system, every diagnosis comes with the expectation of prescribing the drug that matches the code. If she doesn't, she gets questioned, evaluated, sometimes even financially penalized through performance metrics tied to quality measures. This sounds noble, but really just means, did you give the patient the medication the system expects? He said she's been dealing with it for a while and it seems to get worse every year. She didn't go into medicine to be a cog in a pharmaceutical machine. She went in to actually help people. But the hospital's incentives don't reward lifestyle coaching, nutrition conversations, movement prescriptions, or digging into root causes. There's no bonus for helping a patient reverse insulin resistance. But there's plenty tied to metrics on prescribing statins, those shots, antihypertensives, SSRIs, and anything else that fits neatly into a billing code. And the saddest part, this isn't rare. Between pay-for-performance systems, pharma influence, and hospital revenue structures tied to drug utilization, the entire system nudges doctors away from thinking and toward prescribing. Many MDs feel trapped. If they want to practice slow, thoughtful medicine, there's no time. Or if they want to focus on root causes, there's no billing code. If they want to avoid unnecessary medications, they risk being flagged for not meeting standards. So many of the good doctors are quietly slipping away, and we wonder why chronic disease keeps rising. A system that incentivizes prescriptions will always produce more prescriptions. A system that rewards dependency will always create more dependent patients. And a system that punishes critical thinkers will eventually lose all of them. My friend's wife isn't leaving medicine, she's being pushed out of it. And until we fix the incentives, she won't be the last. Unquote. Those reasons aren't just statistics. They are some of the same reasons I left clinical medicine in 2017 after 30 years as a practicing physician. The problem wasn't the patients, it was the system. When a doctor is forced to spend 2 hours clicking through electronic health records and fighting with insurance companies, that's bureaucracy. When a medical board threatens your livelihood for practicing functional medicine, that's scrutiny for thinking outside the box. The burnout is not from long hours, it's abuse. the moral injury of watching a system prevent you from delivering the comprehensive care that your patient, especially those focused on aging well, truly needs. I saw this coming over a decade ago. Back in 2013, I wrote an article for Kevin MD called The Beauty of Direct Pay Physicians. I argued back then that when you strip away the insurance middleman, the doctor and the patient finally form a true cost-effective partnership. This model eliminates the administrative bloat that creates burnout and abuse, giving the doctor the autonomy to treat root causes.
I'm going to cut that short because of our time limit, but what's going on is the average age of doctors that are leaving practice now is 48 years old. That is unbelievable. 48 years old only allows you maybe 20 years of real patient practice. The reason that they give for leaving, they said, is the emotional burnout from.
What about the doctors that died?
I'm getting there.
Sorry.
They say it's the emotional burnout of all the paperwork that the big pharma has put and medical insurance has put on them, the burden. Digital records were supposed to be easier for everybody, but now they spend a great portion of their time doing that kind of stuff rather than patient care, and they don't get paid for that. They only get paid by the billing code. So what he was saying about the medications and the treatment plans and everything is absolutely correct. But the other point is, so many of the doctors didn't do their own homework during COVID, and a lot of them took the COVID shots too. And there's a big jump in disability on physicians, and there's a big jump of them just totally closing their practice and not doing it anymore. And they were saying the biggest, I'm sorry, I have to read it off my phone because I can't memorize these many numbers, but they're saying 8% of the physicians closed their practices due to COVID. So even if you look at 8% out of, what is the total on here, would be like about 1.4 million physicians. But the biggest jump is in primary care that left. So when when most of the primary care physicians leave, you don't even have somebody that can refer you to a specialist. So if you have some kind of a condition or anything, you can't see a specialist because you can't see a primary care doctor. And this is why the stats are going up on deaths and everything. But the COVID doctors that are dying from the shot are going up and up and up. The numbers are. And Medicare actually came out with a percentage, which surprised the hell out of me. I couldn't even believe it. There was 2,500 physicians just in rural areas that dropped out of practice last year alone. So when you compound that, since 2,500 in primary care, and that's just primary care in rural areas. That's not including cities and everything. So the reasons I went through a lot of doctors' statements and everything to kind of break it down. So yes, COVID is one of the biggest reasons that they're leaving, but the other one is the amount of paperwork and stuff that's required of them, jumping through hoops to go for the insurance companies. So I seen people were saying here in the chat that, yeah, their doctors have been lost to private concierge. That's where they're going. Not all of them, because some of them have become disabled and quite ill after taking the COVID jab. But yeah, they're getting out of traditional medicine where they're getting insurance reimbursement, and they're going into their own private practice and opening up where they'll charge you, fee for service. So you go in and you'll have the menu of what they provide, and you can pick and the price right ahead. Doctors now that work in the hospital can't even get price charts for themselves to know what to charge for anything, because every insurance company has different rates and plans and stuff. And for them to go through all the different insurance companies, it's making it very, very difficult for them, and they're burning out fast. And the other problem is the pipeline in residency. So you can't practice medicine unless you do your residency. And there aren't enough slots in residency for a lot of these physicians. So they're graduating medical school and they should be allowed to practice, but they can't because they haven't done a residency and there's no place for them to take it. It might be 3 to 4 years down the road before they get into the residency. So they go ahead and quit and just go do something else. What, George?
And guess who has the right to be, well, a little bit of residency, get the preferences? The Muslim doctors and Indian
Where's
doctors
that at?
in this country. What do you mean? Where's that at? What?
No, I mean, where did you find that? Because I didn't find that.
What do you mean to find it? You don't see it? I mean,
Yeah, there's Muslim doctors. Yeah,
no, but
they're doing their residency out of the country.
Stop. They come into another country. They come here into this country. I'm a doctor. I have this. Well, you don't have to do that much residency. Oh, okay. So we do it. And that's how they're coming into that system too.
I mean, I do know that there's friends of ours that he was a pediatrician, and their son was going to go to Rutgers and then go to or Rutgers Medical School. I think he was going to go in try to go to, and he decided not to go because it was a lot different than when the father went through. He said, I don't know exactly all that.
My niece had to go to Guyana to get her medical when they got rescued by the United States Army there. But she had to go to Guyana. The ones that come from foreign countries are allowed to get the things here in America. Did you know that? That's fact. They had to go out of the country to do it. American citizens had to go out of the country, but they.
You know why? I'll tell you why. Because they can't get accepted into medical school in the United States without a certain the degree, the score that you need to get into medical school. My cousin went to the one from Cuba. He went to Spain for his medical school because he couldn't get in the United States. So there's a lot of them that do it that way because it's easier overseas to get your medical degree, do your residency, then come back to the United States and practice. The what do you call it? The requirements aren't as strong if you're educated overseas. I might be speaking out of turn, but I'm speaking from what I know from. And
hey, how about this one? What about the dinner we went to and who got up there? Spanky.
Yeah.
Right. Nice, well-spoken guy, holistic medicine, blah, 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 all this stuff. What a great guy he is. Very well-spoken and everything else. And he's running for Congress.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need any more in there.
No. All right. So the Muslim doctors, but the point I'm trying to.
I see. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Go ahead.
I just saw Daryl said in the chat a little bit ago that his doctor left. I guess I don't know if it meant they left the practice or went somewhere else or is done.
Well, a lot of them are cooperating. I know a lot of doctors are cooperating, like the heart doctor. My heart doctor cooperated with this other medical
with these groups. Yeah, with these groups. Like my doctor went to this whole Penn Medicine group.
Right, because they have the insurance, because of the insurance policy.
Yeah.
Because of the malpractice lawsuits and stuff like that, and the insurance they have to pay for.
Well, when I worked for the physicians, they were paid like $120 an hour in the ER, and then an extra $50 an hour for their malpractice insurance on top of that, and that was back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So malpractice back then was a big, significant expense. And because they were independent contractors, our company picked up their malpractice premium. But how they did it was they paid them as a separate portion per hour rate. And then they took it back to cover their malpractice. They ended up pooling the malpractice insurance for the independent contractors because to get it through the regular company was way, way too expensive. And that's why you don't have as many OBGYNs too, because of the lawsuits over damage during birth. But the point I was trying to make with this is that we're losing so many doctors and the boomers are aging out. So as the primary care doctors disappear, this is where you're going to see AI come in. AI is going to be able to come in, and I'm not advocating it. I'm just saying that from what I can see, this is going to be where the glut of AI will go in medical practice, will be in research and then in primary care in order to get people through the pipeline to get to the specialists and stuff.
Oh, I know I'm aggravating you. What happened on the news today about the guy that had Parkinson's? What did they use to cure him?
Ultrasound.
Frequencies.
Yeah. And remember when I was saying frequency does heal? And there are therapeutic uses for it and everything, and they, the medical system denied it for a long time, but now they're releasing everything, and they have to, because I think Doge, or however you want to say it, I think that had a lot to do with a lot of the medical information coming out. And then if we wouldn't have RFK in there, I don't think a lot of this would have ever came out. So I wanted to say, but yeah, frequency is the way of the future. Med beds, exactly, all that stuff. But that's how AI. So people are worried about AI in the medical field, but I think this is just my opinion. If AI doesn't come in, we're going to be hurting, and the death rates are going to get higher because there aren't the primary care physicians, and it's financial constraints, emotional burnout, and paperwork, all that kind of stuff is causing them to leave. And I've seen multiple testimonials about this before I even opened my mouth about this, so that I would be saying what I thought was correct. But don't be afraid of the AI if it comes into primary care, because AI can diagnose a lot of things really simple with telehealth. Because most of the time when you go to a primary care doctor, it might be, I'm going to say the bad word, I'm going to say the dirty word, vaccination or a shot, or you've got an upper respiratory infection, or you got an ear infection. It's things like that that AI can take care of real fast for you. And it can get you down the pipeline into a specialist a lot faster if we're going to be missing this big glut. But this is the other point I wanted to make, is this is a point, somebody's going to be mad at me for saying it, but because we have so many independent insurance companies covering across state lines, this is what's causing all the problems. And I don't want to say I'm a socialist, but at some point they're going to have to consolidate the billing and the insurance, or you're just going to have a big clusterfuck.
The whole thing is, one thing I like to bring up is that with the Medicare that is happening, all the ones that are stealing from Medicare, especially the illegals that are here, it's costing us $150 billion a year in tax dollars to supply Medicare for all. They just passed a bill in California. You know, they get treated more better than the American citizen. American citizen has to run around to get an insurance.
Don't say more better in front of Dr. Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, look at Dr. Mike. He charges a lot.
You get corrected.
Well, that's why I tell you. That's why the emergency care places that are opened up like crazy.
Oh, the urgent care, yeah, they're all over the place. I mean, I think I have like 5 of them in my. I have 5 of them in my town. Yeah, at least.
Well, what happens is you could go to them; they'll take insurance, and what happens is they're under a bit different. What do you call with the insurance and everything else? It's a big corporation, and they could, they don't charge as much as other places either, too.
I wanted to bring something about malpractice insurance, right? Or malpractice. It seems like malpractice insurance is strangling these doctors as well, right? So they're getting strangled by it. I saw Mark put something about I think his brother-in-law pays $300,000 a year for malpractice.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me one bit.
But if you think about it, I mean, they say to sue a doctor for malpractice is extremely difficult. Like you got to go in for a nose job and come out with your arm cut off for you to be able to sue. So they pay this crazy insurance, but to be able to sue for malpractice is very difficult. So I don't know.
Well, I had an incident with my heart doctor a while back ago, a long time ago, and he came in and brought this guy in that is learning about the heart and everything else, and he was a Alibaba Muslim, and I was fucking steaming while the guy was sitting there. And then when I went to the front desk, I said, "Look, let me tell you something. I'm not going to tell you this again. I'm a 9/11 survivor. I don't know what's going to happen the next time the guy comes into the room, but it better not happen again." So out of respect to my heart doctor, I didn't say anything, but you would have took my blood pressure, then it would have went through the roof. They come in. This is it. Oh, he's a resident and he's trying to learn. I don't give a shit. I don't want
learn on me.
Yeah,
don't learn on me, right?
Well, I know Sarge is bringing up about the Medicare codes is standard. Yeah, Medicare codes are standard. Billings, the ICD-9 and everything, that's all standard across all medical practice. It doesn't matter what the billing company is. You have to have this exact same diagnosis and billing codes, okay? The difference between Medicare and having Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Anthem, or having Humana and all this stuff is they all have different metrics on what they pay you out of. So Medicare doesn't have bonus system like the other insurance companies do. Blue Cross will bonus a doctor $100,000 a year if 90% of their patients are vaccinated in their practice. Okay. So then you go over to Humana. Humana might pay a different schedule and a different bonus thing. So these doctors have to keep track of each individual insurance company on top of Medicare and Medicaid billing in order to have their incomes stay the same every year. So when you go to the doctor, this is why you get pushed on medications. They get more money if they can label you a diabetic than they can if they say they cured your diabetes. It all goes by the metrics of what you prescribe. And it's different companies have different metrics. So I can't say one payer system will fix everything because it won't, but they have to standardize in between the entities, or this is what you get. They're talking about the fraud. That's why the fraud happens, because each insurance company has so many different criteria on how the doctors get paid. Things slip by so fast. It's unbelievable how things can change. And so what I'm trying to say is, I understand people being upset about medicine being treated as socialist, but unless they get a handle on the diagnosis and billing and retain physicians, we're going to have a lot of problems, and the fraud's going to continue to happen too. And the reason why this is a wormhole is because it ties AI into all of this other stuff, and the reason why doctors are leaving. And the same thing is happening with medical schools. They're denying people entrances based on DEI, which they're not supposed to. And so slots for qualified white people are not being filled because they have to accept a DEI applicant, and some of them are not making the metrics to be accepted into the schools.
You know, Humanicare is supposedly dropping 600,000 people. And a lot of people on Social Security are on that Humanicare. They take part of their, bad enough they get money taken out for the Social Security, for Medicare. Then they take out more money if you want to join a medical, for insurance, to pay for the, Medicare pays 80%, and the other 20% gets paid by another insurance company. And they got Humanicare, you got Blue, you got all these other insurance companies. And now, because of all the stuff and everything else of the medical fraud with the Medicare and everything else, that's what they got to get a handle on. They got to get a handle on the money that's stolen. But
did you see what Jay Klutman put in the chat? Jay Klutman wrote, "When I was in the hospital, they injected with stuff all the time. I was listed as a vaccine refuser on my chart. I still don't know what they injected me with." I mean, you don't know
what they put in that little adapter.
Talk about a possibility of a malpractice suit, right? If you didn't want the vaccine and they injected you.
Well, you find out when you got the MRAs, whatever, you get the blood test, you go find out.
Yeah.
And this is how mistakes are made too with people, because of the different metrics for the different insurance companies. When you need to see a specialist, a lot of it gets slipped to the side because it'll go to where you get denied for something. If you ever get denied on any kind of thing like that, always appeal it, because the insurance companies will deny you knowing it's going to cost them money. But if you appeal it and you're being a pain in their ass, once you appeal it, most of the time, like about 90% of the time, you'll get it paid for.
All right, here we go. Here goes an example. I'm illegal. I go into the emergency room. I have a headache. I got this. I'm sick. So they give me the medication for free. Okay? They get no bill. Got no way to pay. We pay. Our tax dollars pay. Our medical pay. Everything else. So now when you go to the doctor in the emergency room and they give you 2 aspirins, they charge you $150 for 2 aspirins. They can go buy 1,000 bottles.
Margin just put in the chat, just before you said it, $300 for an aspirin. It's kind of funny that you guys,
because you're paying for the people with no insurance.
Yeah, well, that's it.
It's funny you guys were on the same.
Very good to me. Oh, very good to me. Oh, look, I can go in there and blah, 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 and then come on. And then the other ones, they got 4 or 5 wives, which they're not married. Okay, they don't get married by the town and everything else and their license. They get married by Sharia law. So they have 4 wives, 1,000 kids. The wives go to the welfare center. Oh, my husband, I have no husband. I got no job. I can't work. I got all these kids I got to feed. And that's what happened.
So
And they
yesterday a report came out from a state assemblyman, right, in New Jersey, about the cost of illegal immigration in New Jersey. They attribute it to $8.1 billion, right? And just in emergency medical services for illegal aliens, they have it as almost $72 million.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So kind of what you're talking about. That's why I wanted to share that.
It's unbelievable. I'm telling you, especially them. They go in there. They got 4 or 5 wives. They got 30 kids between the 5 wives, and all these kids are gonna get taken care of. They go to the welfare department. Oh, we need this.
Well, that's an extreme. That's an extreme example that they have 30 kids or whatever. I mean, that's extreme.
They could bang them out like crazy.
I'm talking about, but if in most cases, George, you're looking at if illegal. I'm going
to block.
No, wait a minute. Call somebody from Mexico or call somebody.
You guys took the whole wormhole somewhere totally where it wasn't even supposed to go.
All right.
Because I don't even have anything to say anymore.
Go ahead. I don't want to talk.
No, but what's this you guys thing? I'm just playing off of George. George is nuts, right? I'm gonna close my camera like George just did.
So, George, you know what? This is for both of you.
How come you're making so many sandwiches? Bulking up for the winter?
That's great. That's great. What was her answer? That's what I want to know.
It was a death stare. It was a death stare.
Because she did have a knife in her hand.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
You caught that, huh?
Yeah, she did have a knife in her hand. I don't think if I was him, I would have stood that close and asked that question. Maybe across the room, but not that close.
Yeah. No, I was trying to stay away from the Muslim aspect of
well, yeah, that's why I said George is talking about 30 wives. There's all kind of illegal immigrants.
I'm going to make a song up for Muslims. And many, many more.
I don't think
you talk about it all the time.
You talk about it all the time.
It's a shithole.
We're getting a shithole.
I just think why we get along so good, right? Here, go back. But the whole point is you can't be against AI coming into medicine because you're gonna have to have it at some point because of the attrition of doctors. Physicians the attrition rate is horrible.
Sergeant put a something in the chat. It was a while ago when we were talking about AI about it would actually probably help with the medical fraud, like the billing fraud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you can use AI in the billing system and it can cross-reference everything. So yeah, you will get rid of the fraud.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the whole point I was going with. But George is right about the Muslims and everything, though, too, about not having healthcare, and we're paying for it and everything too. But
that's all illegal immigrants though coming in. No one has healthcare. That's
so when we're paying for so without the menu pricing, with people that don't have the insurance and everything, this is where it turns everything into a big mess. So there isn't one easy answer to fix anything, but because us here and people that watch and in our chat and everything, we're not 20 years old or 30 years old where you got your whole life to fix this. And we're coming up on the glut now. So the attrition rate of the physicians and then the aging of the boomers and everything, it's going to cause a lot of problems where healthcare isn't going to be healthcare. I think it was Ned. I can't see who said it in here. So I apologize if I didn't get the correct person, but healthcare is not healthcare when it's for profit. So with the profit margins with the insurance companies, this is part of the problem. And they drown people in the paperwork. And that's a big thing. I mean, when you're spending 2 or 3 hours doing paperwork after you see patients at the end of the day, that's why you see so much burnout. But COVID really did a number on them, a real bad number. To retire at 48 is unbelievable after all the money you spent.
I remember years ago that medical billing was big. Like you would see, work from home, do medical billing, make X amount of dollars per hour. You could work from home, do your own schedule, and process medical billing for doctors, and so there was an industry out of it. just the billing part of it.
Well, just like medical transcription, that used to be a really good job too. But then Kurzweil made that software and everything where they could just, talk and it would transcribe everything. So there you lost a whole segment of, a profession there too, because that was a good stay-at-home job if you did that. You didn't have to go to the office. You would just take the tapes and transcribe them.
I just check.
I remember when that happened.
George, do you want to see? Do you want to see Byron Donalds when he got home last night? What happened? Hey, Dr. Mike.
You always try to do that.
I know he won. I
watched it when you're not watching, and then I sneak you in.
Hey, I heard you're going to take what do you call it? Islamophobia language.
What?
All right, Mike.
I don't understand where you just said, Mike.
I like Dearborn. I'm Dearborn standing still right there.
Are you in Dearborn now?
No, I was there last night.
Oh, how was it?
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
We did a whole 50 minutes.
Oh, sorry, I missed it. I was busy working. I was trying to get my show prepared while I'm sitting here in Blue, New Jersey. Is it as bad as Michigan, George?
Oh, it was unbelievable. I tell you, there were thousands and thousands of patriots showed up. It was unbelievable. Bikers and everything else.
We talked about this.
Read my Facebook page.
All right.
That's it all day. And the whole thing is they did and then all of a sudden the courses started coming out, right, for rioting, which we were rioting. We're very peaceful. And then all of a sudden the riot cops come out of the place where the meeting was supposed to be in.
Did you tell them who you are? Did you
say Born to Ride 45 puppet, Mike?
I have.
He had a lot of bacon yesterday.
And then the other thing was all of a sudden a young group of Muslims came in and an imam came in and they were the agitators, not the group that was there.
They were the antagonists and you were the protagonist in the story. How did it play out? How did the movie end?
They called us right wingers and white supremacy, all this shit and everything.
George got on his motorcycle, rode back home, and it got back to Trixie's at 12:30.
There you go. Well, I mean, that's all they have is call us names and try to discredit you, because then they figure, their people won't listen to you. They're scared of the message. If you think about it, George, they're scared of what you might tell them, because if they discredit you enough, then no one will listen to you. That's their whole game plan. So, same thing I saw it during COVID, right? Nobody wanted to hear read the books or see what you had to say. They just try to. They're scared of the truth and they don't want the truth to get out. So they do everything to hide it.
Because people got to stop being sheep.
True.
I got too sentimental on your show yesterday. Everybody was like, "Oh, this is a soft mic coming out yesterday on the show." So, I gotta be tougher now. I'm gonna be tough.
There you go. Well, you should have came on with your vest.
It's right here. It's literally right here in the studio.
Put it on. Come on.
I can toughen you up. You can go make me a sandwich.
I can. Okay, I could do that. A nice sandwich. That's what my grandmother. Do you want a nice sandwich? What like it's going to be a mean sandwich? What's the difference? I don't understand why it's nice. My Born to Ride for 45 vest hangs up right here proudly in the studio, so everybody can see it. It's got I have all the memorabilia sitting around me right here, which I wish I could show everybody, but I don't want them to know where I live.
There you go.
George has been here. Sean's been here. Trixie, you haven't been over the house. What's that, Sean?
Yeah, but I've never been invited into the studio.
I was your podcast guest at what do you call it?
Podcast Fest.
It's not a podcast. It's a show, George.
The podcast, the original one. He put me as a guest. We went out and had what did we had?
Oh yes, the original pot. You're right, and I had Tommy on the show too. I was listening to that one yesterday because it's funny when when you graduate from podcast to show, and then you forget all about the podcast, and then people continually call your show a podcast. Like, all right, whatever. I had a meeting yesterday with this marketing company. And the guy was really nice to me. We were talking about whatever we had to talk about for 5 minutes. And then he goes, I hate to bring this up, while I have you here, but he goes, I really like what you're doing. He goes, I love your messaging and I think it's really cool and your books and everything. And he goes, you got to tell me more about your podcast. And I said, number one rule is we know when someone calls it that, I know they don't watch the show. It's an easy way for me to catch people. Oh, I watch your podcast all the time, or I listen to it. I go, no, you don't, you liar. That's how I catch people.
Or if they call you during it.
or if they call, well, that's dead giveaway. Seriously, you should know what I'm doing. I know it's a joke. Nobody really cares, but to me, it sounds funny. So I do it that way.
Mike, did you see the report that came out yesterday from Paul Canitria, Canitria, the
Anitra?
assemblyman?
I did not.
$8.1 billion is the cost of illegal immigration in New Jersey.
Look, I love Paul. I've had him on the show. He's a great guy. He's doing yeoman's work over there, along with Don Fantasia and a couple other Republicans that we have. Greg Meyer, Carmen Amato. There's a lot of great Republicans that we have in the state legislature. But being in the minority is fun because I watch these guys, and guys like Paul. I guess I'd be doing the same thing. You constantly can throw out the new, put something in the news cycle to get everybody inflamed because you get everybody like us mad, but they never make any real difference because, like, if you look at the state legislature, it's like 66% to 33%. Like you can't make a dent. So you just have a bunch of what they look at as us, as Karens, complaining about these things, but we're trying to get the word out. But then in New Jersey, nobody listens. You meet all these people from, Elizabeth and Newark and Jersey City. They don't care. They don't have their finger on the pulse. They're not watching shows like this. So while I appreciate what Paul's doing, I think there can be more done besides just, pointing out some of the obvious stuff, like the election fraud in New Jersey. We have a really, we talked about that. We have a plan to figure this out and really expose it on a level that they can't run away from. And there's, I think a bunch of us need to coalesce a little bit more on some of that, because there's some stories that you cannot bury, no matter how much in the majority you are and how much coverage you have from the press. There's some stories that you cannot just brush under a rug to get away from. And I think that's one of them, Sean, that we need to expose here in New Jersey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, long-winded answer for not.
But that's a good way to bring it back. Absolutely.
That's why they pay me the small bucks, Sean. That's why I get paid what I get paid here on Rumble. Trixie knows it's it's very hard to do what we do here.
It's peanuts.
All right, I gotta go hit my button and yell at the camera so that people don't think I have to watch Mike's podcast show. Never heard of him. Knock it off. Podcast show. These people. I'm out of here.
Yeah, we're gonna raid the podcast, Mike, in a little while. We'll raid your podcast.
$5 fines from each of you. I'll see you guys on the show.
Oh, that's how you make your money.
That's funny.
So George, I know you were traveling last night, so you may have missed this, but I have a clip up of Byron Donalds when he got home last night. I think Erica Donalds, his wife, filmed it, and he was celebrating in private.
Oh, you gotta give me this video.
I love
it. You gotta give me this video. I'm gonna send it to him. Oh my god. You gotta send me this video. Oh my god, I'm gonna send it to him.
Oh, that's great.
It was he was going to town at home. He was all excited, and
you gotta send me that. You gotta send me that because I'll send it to him.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh, that was hilarious. I used to watch The Fresh Prince just to watch Carlton dance all the time because
that's right. He had that dance, right? It was
he'd always do. Yeah, it started out with Will Smith when he like snuck up on what was supposed to be his cousin or whatever in the room. Yep. Yeah, because that was a dance. Oh shoot!
That was a great character.
My earbuds. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was a great character.
This is terrible. They just pop right out of my ear.
Get Scotch tape. Put them in. But get Scotch tape.
Scotch tape. I'll put a headband on and hold them in.
Yeah.
Hey, put these two photos up. Put these two photos up. Put the photo up for the camera. That's about pretty the one. That's about it. There we go. The rise is Islamic Christ. Here we go.
Okay, I want to say something real quick about Darlene Graham last night.
Oh yeah,
she sucked. She choked on national security. They asked her, and she said, "I don't really know much about foreign policy."
She shouldn't even debate it. She should just stayed away. The Democrats, like here in our district for congressman, the incumbent Democrat will not debate the challenger. And you know what? She should have just stayed away from it. She should have probably not debated him and just because that's what they do.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously,
I say stay from the stupid people while you're out. I know it's very hard to stay away from stupid people.
It is.
It's amazing. It's amazing how. And you know what? You know how many stupid people are because they fall for this bullshit. Oh, there's, they're so great people and everything else. But if they follow that Sharia law, let me tell you, they have a plan.
Red said she's not a coming. I know that, Red, but she's got obviously the Graham name. Lindsay was elected. That's why I'm saying she probably could have just stayed away from it and not even did it, or did it when she was more fully prepared. That's all.
Can I make a prediction?
Yes.
Marco Rubio is going to be the one for the president lead.
Okay.
And Vance will be the vice president.
Do you think was there a time in history before where vice president with one administration ran with who was that?
I don't know. I don't remember, but yes, there was. I remember.
I don't think there was. That's why I'm asking.
Go to Glock. Let's go to Glock.
Go to Glock. Let's see.
Oh, I checked about Muslims with the Glock. The average woman, they have anywhere from 4 to 5 kids, and they're allowed through Sharia law to have as many wives as they want.
Sure.
So just to let you know.
But they don't allow that in the United States. That's called, what's that called if you're married?
No. That's if you get married by City Hall. If you don't you could get married by one wife, City Hall, and then have all the other ones by Sharia. Don't matter. Doesn't matter. You have to have the marriage.
But they're not legally. But you're not legally your wife. You could call somebody your wife, but they're not legally.
Well, they
your
can't.
wife.
That's what they said. They got.
And I don't know why these women would want to, because they can't take a guy for half of what he's got. Then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? If they get divorced, they can't have half.
They
might have wives. They might have a quarter. Are you looking that up, George?
I'm looking. What was the question?
Who knows what he's doing? He's probably looking.
So you mentioned J.D. Vance would be his vice president. I don't think that would happen, but that's. I don't doubt Marco Rubio is going to run.
What question you wanted me to ask? You said you wanted me to ask something.
Has there ever been a vice president with one president and became vice president again with another president? So 2 different administrations, one president, or two different administrations, the same vice president, I guess is what the question is. I don't think so. I don't see anybody saying it in the chat.
I don't know, but I think everybody's saying what a good show it was today, and I think so too. There was a lot of opinions and going back and forth and everything, and it sped by for me. And when it speeds by for me, I usually think it's pretty good. So I think thank you everybody for hanging with us, because there's some heated comments and everything. Everybody has a different opinion, but we all are on the same wavelength as far as what we need to do.
Yeah,
that's what's
listen. If you want to be on the same wavelength, buy a tuning fork and we'll all bing, and we
go back to frequency, and it's Wormhole Wednesday.
That's what I said.
Yeah, frequency.
Wow. Thinking hard, she said. Oh, she's really thinking. Rock.
Is the hamsters running on that wheel?
Yes, I don't. Yes. In U.S. history, 2 people have served as vice president under 2 different presidents. George Clinton, Vice President Thomas Jefferson, and then under James Madison until Clinton died, John Calhoun also, with John Quincy Adams.
So back early times, not in.
We got to find. Thank you, Glock.
There you go. Grok is good.
I'm going to grok around. I mean,
you were grokking around last night. Yeah, well, I know, but it was for a good cause. What you did, we have a lot of respect.
Mike Whoop said that too. I guess that same time in the chat. So you and
I should have had cooked bacon.
Came up with the same time.
I should have thrown in that car that approached me.
It's a waste of bacon, though.
Yeah, bacon's too good.
Too good. I tell you, when that guy came with the pig cooked.
So next time next time we do the meetup, instead of the waffle maker, I think we need bacon. Just saying.
Talk to Mark. You tell him Mark took off already. He said he's got to fly out to California to help a friend in need. So obviously he's going golfing.
That's very nice of you, Mark.
He's campaigning with Gavin Newsom. That's his friend.
We got to get him Friday for that one. You just gave me a really good idea. Oh,
I know you're going to do now. Yeah, he's helping out Gavin. So.
I got.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed these things we shared about Dearborn, Michigan, and it was a great show. Thanks for Mr. Question, Mr. Question. I'm gonna make you a new patch. Questionnaire. That's what you gotta be, Sean.
The question, with a hand up like this.
Yeah,
that would be great. Actually,
you gotta see the hand move.
Yeah,
you see the hand move.
Yeah,
play that again. Look, watch the hand move. Look, watch. Look, the hand comes up.
Yeah, that's why he's questioning it.
That would be a great name on my vest. So.
Yeah, that was the best one. I mean, Grassley. Quran.
Yeah, well, we got to go. It's 5 after 10.
John, I really Quran and all the other religion books. But
George, when you read something,
listen, I read them all.
Read it, like out loud. You can't go.
I'm reading testimony.
Yeah.
ABQ question. That's right, Fred.
As soon as I get back.
I should have like question marks around my head as I speak. All right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. Red's ready to raid the show, actually raid the podcast. Everybody, when Red raids the show, everybody go into Mike's show and say, "I love Mike's podcast. I love this podcast."
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I love his podcast.
Yeah. Give him a little butt rash today.
Yeah.
Give him some butt rash.
Mike, we love your podcast. We love coming to your podcast every day. Stuff like that. That'd be funny.
Okay. Well, we're ready. We're gonna go out. This one's for George because he's so worked up today.
Till the whole damn room learns what I said. Protect what's mine. That's a blood-borne vow. Say a word wrong, you'll find out now.